Bonjour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui, nous allons parler de l'imparfait. Hello everybody. Today we are going to be looking at the imperfect tense, which is called the imparfait in French. This is one of our two key past tenses, the other one being the passé composé. The learning intention of this video is to be able to use the imperfect tense, l'imparfait, accurately to describe past situations and actions. So in this video, we're going to start by looking at the formation or the conjugation of the imparfait, and then we are going to be looking at its uses, and we will finish by considering how we can use the passé composé and the imparfait in a sentence together. So how do we form the imparfait? To start off with, we need a stem. That's the first part of our verb. So to form the stem of the imparfait, we are going to take the new form of the verb in the present tense and we're going to remove the ons ending. Now, all verbs have a regular stem except for one. Can you guess what verb that might be? If you said être, you were right. So the stem of être and the imparfait is E, accent acute T. Alright, so we have our stem, that's the first part of our verb. Now we need to add our endings. Now these are going to vary according to the subject of the sentence, that is, the person performing the action of the verb. So, for the first person singular, je, you add the ending ais. For the second person singular, or the informal version, tu, you are going to add ais. For the third person singular, you will add ait, il, elle. For the second person plural, nous, you are going to add ions. For the second person plural and also the formal form, vous, you will add iez. And for the third person plural, il and elle, you will add aient. Okay, fairly straightforward so far. Alright, so what does a verb conjugated in the imparfait look like? I've got three examples for you, an ER verb, an IR verb, and an RE verb. So starting on the left we have parler, in the middle finir, and on the right entendre. So listen to how I pronounce the first one, parler. Je parlais, tu parlais, il parlait, elle parlait, nous parlions, vous parliez, il parlait, elle parlait. You will have noticed that in the je, tu, il, elle, both of the third person singular and third person plural forms, the verb is pronounced the same. So, therefore we can see that AIS, AIT, AIENT, well, those four different conjugations are pronounced the same way, parler. So we've got to look at a difference for nous and vous. We need to remember to pronounce that extra I. Okay, let's listen to finir. It's going to follow the same pattern. Je finissais, tu finissais, il finissait, elle finissait, nous finissions, vous finissiez, il finissait, elle finissait. Again, the nous and vous forms vary because of the extra I. And entendre. J'entendais, tu entendais, il entendait, elle entendait, nous entendions, vous entendiez, il entendait, elle entendait. And if you want to make that liaison really explicit for the third person plural, you could say ils entendaient, elles entendaient. Now, there are, however, a few verbs that have slight spelling changes because they have these spelling changes in the present tense. Remember, we're taking the stem from the new form of the verb in the present tense. So here we've got a few categories. So verbs that end in CER, such as commencer, require a cedilla under the C in all the forms except for the nous and vous forms. So an example of this would be je commençais, but nous commencions. Now this is for pronunciation reasons. Second example, a verb ending in GER, such as manger and voyager, require an extra E to be inserted after the G in all forms except nous and vous. So this is the same irregularity that exists in the present tense for GER verbs. So you would say je mangeais, but nous mangions. Pronunciation is not affected. Now the third irregularity to keep in mind is that verbs with stems that add in I, such as étudier, have a double I in the nous and the vous forms only. Nous étudions. Looks very funny, but that's the correct spelling. Ok, à vous. Prenez vos stylos. It's your turn. Take out a pen. You are going to write down the conjugations of the verbs in brackets in the imparfait. Now be careful, there are some spelling irregularities amongst these verbs. Pause the video. Alright, let's go through the answers now. So, quand j'étais petite, when I was young, être has an irregular stem in the imparfait. Then, je jouais du piano. Jouer, no irregularities, a regular ER verb. Quand j'étais petite, je jouais au piano. When I was young, I used to play piano. 2. Est-ce que tu partageais ta chambre avec ta sœur? Did you used to share your bedroom with your sister? So partager is an example of a verb that ends in GER. So we're going to need to insert an extra E after the G in all forms except the nous and vous form. 3. Quand j'habitais en France, when I used to live in France, habiter regular ER verb. L'école commençait à 8 heures. School used to start at 8 a.m. So commencer is an example of a verb that ends in CER. We are going to add a cedilla to the final C in all forms except nous and vous. Okay, 4. Nous remercions rarement nos professeurs. We would rarely thank our teachers, or we rarely thanked our teachers. Now, remercier is an example of a verb that ends in ER, so we've got a double I in the nous and vous forms. And 5. À l'époque, elle prenait le train à 6 heures. At the time, she used to take, or she would take, the train at 6 a.m. So prendre is a regular RE verb in the imparfait. Okay, let's now look at the uses of the imparfait. I am now going to highlight 3 key uses. The first one is we use the imparfait to describe an habitual or repeated action in the past. Now, this will often be accompanied by an expression of time implying repetition. Here's an example. Chaque été, ma famille allait à la plage. So every summer, my family used to go to the beach. So we can see we have an expression of time implying repetition, chaque été, every summer. So this is something that used to happen repeatedly in the past. Family would be going to the beach once a year for many years in a row. So this is why we're using the imparfait in this example. All right. A second example of the use of the imparfait is for a description or a mental, physical, or emotional state in the past. So a description might be the description of a scene. Il faisait beau. It was beautiful weather. And then we've got mais j'étais triste, but I was sad. So I was sad is an emotional state in the past. Il faisait beau, mais j'étais triste. It was lovely weather, but I was sad. So a description and an emotional state in the past. Now, a third use for the imparfait is for actions in the past that were in progress for a long or unspecified period of time. So we don't know how long this action was ongoing for. It's not specified anywhere in our text. Here's an example. Anne cuisinait pendant que je lisais le journal. So we don't know how long Anne was cooking for. We don't know how long I was reading the newspaper. It's an ongoing action in the past. It has an unspecified time frame. Our final use of the imparfait today is going to be in a sentence with the passé composé. So this will occur when we have an ongoing action in the past, written in the imparfait, and it is interrupted by another action in the past, often suddenly. This second action will be written in the passé composé. So here's an example. Je mangeais le petit déjeuner quand quelqu'un a téléphoné. I was eating breakfast when someone telephoned. So the first verb is in the imparfait, je mangeais, because it was ongoing and we don't know specifically how long that person was eating breakfast for. But suddenly their breakfast was interrupted by a telephone call, and this is going to be in the passé composé. Here's a second example. Je promenais le chien quand tout d'un coup j'ai vu mon meilleur ami. I was walking the dog when, all of a sudden, I saw my best friend. So an ongoing action in the past, walking the dog, is suddenly interrupted by seeing your friend. Written j'ai vu in the passé composé. Alright, so we have learnt today to form the imparfait and we've learnt its main uses. Merci de votre attention. Au revoir et à bientôt.